I am glad that we're having this opportunity to see the film in this environment rather than something that's goes straight to DVD, you watch it in your home and you enjoy it personally, but you're not getting this experience. So that's very important to me also.
Why was there such a lull before the Lovers Rock concerts came back again? Why did it die such a death before it was revived?
I think what happened with Lovers Rock, the industry, when it started, you know, we had a lot of producers, we were very young. A lot of us, a lot of the singers, the artists who were in the business, we were very young. We were teenagers. Most of the women were teenagers, most of the boys were teenagers. And what happened was, the industry, we didn't build it on solid foundations, basically. That's what I feel. And a lot of us got disillusioned with the whole Lovers Rock industry. Hence, it dwindled. You know, we didn't, a lot of the artists stopped, you know, some of the women in the business, they got boyfriends and so forth, didn't want them to sing no more and all them thing there. You know, you had all that happening. A lot of artists didn't get their just rewards for some of their hit records and so forth. So a lot of people came out of the business and stopped, you know, and so that's what happened to the Lovers Rock.
Well, in the early days, the majority of the singers that sang Lovers Rock were females, and a lot of them became disillusioned with the business because they didn't get their just rewards. So they had to go off and be able to earn their money in other ways, because it was obvious that, you know, singing in that genre wasn't going to bring them the food to their table.
What would you do differently, again, if you had your time again?
When I started in the business, I knew absolutely nothing. I was green as the grass on my daddy's lawn. And I knew nothing. And all I knew was that I enjoyed singing, I loved singing, and the fact that somebody offered to take me into a studio and record my voice, I was so happy at that point. And I thought that all the other things would come automatically, but they didn't. So if I had to do things differently, I'd learn the business before I get into the business. I'd have my lawyer in place. I'd have a better attitude, a more business attitude about things. Not be so friendly with people, so as not to be taken advantage of. I think that's probably where I'd go. I'd learn the business before I get into it. And I think now, for the youngsters coming up now, it's very, very different anyway, because you can be a one-man band now. You can have a studio in your own home, you can record your own tunes, you can press your own tunes, you can go and book your own gigs, you can sell your tunes at your gigs, you can sell your tunes on your website, you've got iTunes, you can put your tunes online and you can make your... You don't need a record company anymore. The money is coming from the customer to yourself. So for the people coming up now, I think it's easier for them. All they've got to do is make sure that they also have a business head on their shoulders as well, and you know, knowledge of the industry, the whole technical knowledge, and you can fly.
Not only that, not only for the youngsters, for us as well.
Well, that's what we have to do now.
That's what we have to do. We have now become our own record companies. You know, Carol, Janet, and myself, when we cut a tune now, is we bring it to whatever concert we're doing. You know, we've got some here. And that's how we do it. It's a marketplace, and we have to market ourselves and sell our whatever we do, hoping that people like it and buy it, and so the money comes to us as opposed to having middle people and so forth. You know.
Are there any plans to kind of get it into schools so that the kids out there can know about where their parents are coming from?
Even today, there is very little reflection of who we are out there. And so what this film is about is really about bringing that invisibility into something that our children and us can recognize is us. This is part of our story. And that's, to me, was a driving force in doing this, that our children need to know what our stories are, because they don't really know. They hear bits and pieces, but they can't put it all together. And so that's important for us, because if we're going to influence them, they have to have something there for them to reflect on. And so that's the importance of this work. It's been 3 years making this film. It's been 3 years because it's been mostly self-financed with the love of those in front of the camera and those behind the camera. That has helped. And then at the very end, I got a little bit of support from EDF Energy, who helped with the marketing and so forth and so on. So it's been an effort over 3 years, which we ourselves, because I would go to people and ask for support financially and so on and so forth. And we ourselves are slow in coming forward. I mean, I had some people give donations towards it, as some people wanted to invest and then they didn't, and so on. And so it's kind of validating our experiences and believing in it and being able to support it so films like this can be made. For if I didn't put it in my own pocket and have the determination that I had to make this film, you would not be seeing this. And so for me, it's about how we can validate and encourage who we are, not just for us, but also for the generations to follow. And that's important. And that's the kind of driving force for me to make this film over these years. Because, as I said, the cost of making films, the cost of going through this whole process is cost, and it's also you're dealing with a lot of challenges all the way through, even to trying to get the film into some of the cinemas that we've had problems in getting, the films in some of the cinemas that we had. There's a constant uphill struggle that you're fighting all the time. But that's why I said at the very beginning, it's great to see you guys come out and watch the film, because that's what makes it worthwhile for me.